pranams a todos los devotos, muy buenos días. Manda pranams a Vinda Krishna Prabhu. Manda pranams a Parasad Maharaj. Buenos días, Maharaj. Manda pranams a Mita y buenos días.
Dandavat, dear devotees around the world. Dandavat, dear Ramana Krishna Prabhu. Mita, Vaibhavam Prabhu. My obeisance to you, my love and affection. Thank you.
Dandavat Sadhu Maharaj.
Oh, Dandavat, my dear mother, how are you?
I am good. How are you, Maharaj?
Now I'm happy because I'm listening to your voice.
And I am happy to see you.
Waiting for the beautiful family you have to share some experience. Let's see.
I think Nakul will be on Zoom today.
That's a very good news. Dandavat Krishna Mohini, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, muy bien. Dandavat Triveni Dasa.
Dandavat. Kodi Dandavat. Dandavat Bawa.
Dandavat Sadhu Maharaj. Dandavat a todos los devotos.
Krishna Prabhu.
Pranam para todos los devotos del mundo. Pura Semana.
Dandavat pranams, Hare Krishna para todos.
¿Ya estamos?
Ya estamos.
Ok. ¿Estás conectado?
Sí.
Ok. Ashram Maharaj says he's connected. Is he here?
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat to everyone.
Dandavat Pranam Janardana Maharaj. Isali, Tekundam.
Dandavat Triveni. Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat
Danda madre, hermana querida.
Dandavat Triveni. Bueno, lindo.
Dandavat Janardana Maharaj. Everybody, Acharya number 2.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
again.
Pronto? Tá no site, né?
Ashram Maharaj.
Dhanyavad, Rohitaksha, e Julia. Vibhu.
He told me Ashram Maharaj is connected. Do you see him?
Maharaj, I didn't see Silasa Maharaj, I didn't see Maharaj.
Dhanyavad Maharaj, reverencia respetuosa. Dhanyavad todos los devotos.
Dhanyavad, Ravindra Krishna, how are you?
Oh, Dhanyavad Maharaj, you are very fine with the blessings. Keep blessing us. Keep blessing us.
Dhanyavad too. Dhanyavad
Dhanyavad
Sato.
Maharaj y a todos los devotos.
Dhanyavad. Who's VKD?
Dhanyavad Gurudev.
Nada,
Dhanyavad Kamavi, Ishani.
Dhanyavad Pranams Maharaj, Srila Janardhan Maharaj.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad Vati Kushmesha Maharaj.
Dhanyavad a todos los devotos.
Nada, Maharaj.
Dhanyavad Pranams, querido Maharaj.
Shani Dhanyavad.
Today is, here is near Joe Ekadasi. I think in other places tomorrow is Ekadasi. Is that right? And then
We are also
Yes,
saying
Maharaj. Tomorrow is Ekadasi in Singapore.
Ekadasi.
Vijaya Ekadasi. And Ananta Govind in England, is it Ekadasi today or tomorrow?
I think that is tomorrow, like in Caracas.
Tomorrow. Today here. Also with you, Ashram March today.
Yes, we are following today Ekadasi. Canta Krishna Dhanyavad.
And following the Ekadasi, but not the
Igualmente, igualmente.
No tengo una conexión, pero
How's the Karashi today in California and tomorrow in Caracas? Is another. How's.
I don't know, did you check the calendar for Caracas?
We'll have to check.
I'll check.
Dirección no van a aplicar a Venezuela.
mesmo nas outras que estão em branco, se selecionar aqui não tem problema.
Não tem problema, mas eu vou apertar aqui, ó, normal.
Então,
confused.
Just one small little comment. A long time ago, we used to have that situation. And if I'm not mistaken, Srivacharya Maharaj instructed Venezuelan devotees to always follow the calendar as in India.
Yeah, but not for Ekadashis.
I think that time, if I'm not mistaken, even for Ekadasi.
Well, then Openamar said that the Ekadashi should be calculated for every place because it's not the same date in every place. He said every other date should be followed by central Ekadashi.
Srila Dandavat Maharaj, Sripacharya Maharaj made Gaudiya Vaishnava calendar for Ekadasi in every country.
Yeah,
So we follow whatever is we have here that you give us.
where is that site? I know that site, but I forgot which place. It's under what? Vaishnava. I know the first word is Vaishnava. Now under. Let's see, Vaishnava calendar. Let's see.
I would like to know if today is a Kalashi, even we thought that it was tomorrow, so we already broke the Kalashi in case that is today. But I would like to know if they are not eating grain in front of them.
Do you remember I told one place where it was previously? Do you remember that, Ashamars?
Well, previously they used to mention it in our web page. But after that, I don't know.
Luego we replace in Gaudiya Darshan.
Tú me estás preguntando, pero yo les dije hace meses que hay un sitio, pero no recuerdo qué sitio es, pero copié todos para California. Pero tú no recuerdas el sitio que Acharya Ratna.
Yes, Maharaj.
You have written down, I said, one site has all the Vaishnava.
I sent it in the link, Maharaj.
You sent it in the link. Okay.
Good. It is sharing for all the devotees through the chat of the meeting, Maharaj.
Vaishnava calendar. Okay, now, someone asked about Caracas. We're in June. It says today is near Jalakadasi in Caracas. And it has all the different places in the world on it.
So today is the Kalashi also in Florida.
Yeah, you can check all the different cities are there on that link that Mahalakshmi sent. And I will make a bookmark of this time, so. Bookmark.
It's called the time to when you can breakfast. The time is there as well. So it's the time to breakfast is also calculated locally.
Yeah, everything. Gaudiya is under, what is it? Vaishnavacalendar.org.
reunião e está sendo gravada.
Does anyone have any questions? Last week we had a pretty controversial, no, not controversial, just a fight. We had some arguments last Sunday. But this Sunday looks more calm. I don't know why, but just have that feeling this morning. So, ashram. And I think, Acharya Ratna, you made one resume of last week's meeting, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
In Spanish?
Yes, Maharaj, I just sent it to you and to Silas Maharaj last night before.
And anything in English?
Not actually, Maharaj. I have to translate it.
We'll look at it and then we can translate. If anyone really wants to know what last week's meeting is, it's still fresh in my mind. That much. How many page resume was it?
Só tem contratado ou tem mais?
Like 5 page, Maharaj. It goes to the front point that mostly of the comments do it for the devotees. Was in the same direction, Maharaj, so I just try to resume as much as possible, Maharaj.
By the way, some of the devotees wanted to talk with Nariha Maharaj, Bhakti Tilak Nariha Maharaj. Sadhu Maharaj, are you present?
Sí, Maharaj, no, aquí estoy, dando algunas primeras y las demás.
So is there, I don't know what kind of connection there is. Is there any chance that the devotees in the Bhakti Tilak Nariha Maharaj?
Me preguntan. Sí, hoy hablamos con el Maharaj y va a conectarse, ya lo estoy llamando de nuevo.
Él está conectado, solo que no tiene sonido.
Dandavad Maharaj, Dandavad.
Okay. There's
Dandavad Nariha Maharaj.
Dandavad.
Dandavad Maharaj. How are you, Maharaj?
Fine, very fine. And yourself?
Fine, Maharaj.
You're in the Sringapali?
Yeah, Maharaj.
Okay. So yesterday we had a meeting in Spanish, and many devotees said they wanted to meet with you and talk with you. So I'm happy you're here today.
Sadhu Maharaj told me and every time he called me and we need to attend the meeting. But here is too much raining, so little, the internet connection is little poor.
Ravindra Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj.
There you have some devotees who speak Hindi.
No, Maharaj. Satya Baba Didi speaks Hindi. Many of them speak Tamil and English, and some Chinese.
But Nariha Maharaj speaks Hindi and Bengali. So I thought maybe we have some, Bengali devotees.
That Maharaj,
Yeah.
I think Adok Saja Prabhu, if he's around, he speaks very well Hindi. Otherwise, I try to translate a little bit, but my Hindi is very limited. Adok Saja Prabhu is not online yet, but
Is
I
Purna
can try.
here?
I can try to translate a bit. That's not a problem.
Okay, you tell him in Hindi.
I can try, yes, a little bit.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Oh, then what Prabhu, so Abhishek Prabhu can do the translation much better.
Adok Saja Prabhu.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat.
Dandavat. So, Bhaktijila Dari Maharaj is here, and he speaks Hindi and Bengali. So maybe we can speak in, you can translate from Hindi. Is that possible?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. You can tell to Nari Maharaj that anything that he wants to say in Hindi, you can translate.
Okay. Dandavat Maharaj. Yes. Nidhi Maharaj, धन्यवाद।
हाँ बोलिए, धन्यवाद धन्यवाद।
आप हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं और मैं इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट कर सकता हूँ।
क्या एक्चुअली तो हम महाराज से कुछ सुनना चाहते हैं कि हम हमारा तो उतना कुछ अनुभव नहीं है ना, हम जो जैसे कि भक्तों से कुछ सुनना चाहते हैं ना कि हम
तो अंग्रेजी समझ सकते हैं?
हैं?
अंग्रेजी समझ सकते हैं?
समझ सकते हैं, उतना बोलने में डिफिकल्ट होता है, समझते हैं पर समझ में आता है।
Maharaj, Maharaj says he wants to listen from you, Maharaj.
Well, okay. We wanted to ask, how are things in Nrsingsapali? What is any news from Nrsingsapali?
I spoke to him the day before. Yes.
Maharaj, here now it's like quiet. No, nothing happened. Nothing disturbing. Also, what they're doing is on by the internet. I don't know. Tell the Maharaj to perform on the internet, but outside person.
So,
Dandavat, Nidhi Maharaj. Sorry,
Yes,
Dandavat Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj. Nidhi Maharaj says now everything is quiet. Previously there was some tension, but now everything is quiet.
okay. We received some communication, maybe Sadhu Maharaj knows about it. The opposition called and said that they would remain peaceful and not to worry and everything like this. But we do not know if we can...
Yeah, Maharaj, also called me. He also called me. And Sadhu Maharaj and Kamal Singh also called them also.
So what the opposition was claiming is they were not going to disturb, they were not going to disturb us, they were not going to do anything. But then we are wondering, if that is so, why did they send 6 people last week to the Nrsingsapali temple? If they're not going to disturb, why were they knocking on doors and why they came to Nrsingsapali last week? That's the question.
But,
वो कह रहे कि क्यों 6 या 7 जन को पिछले सप्ताह वो भेजा था नरसिंहपाली में वो मीटिंग के लिए।
किंतु बात है क्या, ये चीज जो रंजीत भेजा ऐसा नहीं है। हमको तो लगता है कि विपुल और शांता महाराज लोग को बुलाए थे, हम जो मठ के भक्तों को मैंने भयभीत करने के लिए कि कोई भी चीज मैंने जल्दी से डिसाइड कर लेने से उन लोग को कोई पोस्ट मिल जाए तो अच्छा रहेगा। मैंने उन लोग मैंने अपना स्वार्थ के लिए उन लोग ऐसा मैंने भाई उत्पन्न कराना चाहते हैं, जैसे कि आपका गोवर्धन में भी उन लोग उस पंडा को उठा के करना चाह रहे हैं। गोवर्धन में पंडा जो कि किए हुए दखल किए हुए हैं, इनको नदी प्रभु बोला करके उनको हटाएंगे और ठीक से टिकट लेंगे, किंतु सब ये विपुल और शांत महाराज रहे उन लोग के साथ मिलके, जो रंजीत के साथ लोग नहीं तो उन लोग के साथ मिलके ये सब
Maharaj, he says that it's a work of Shanta Maharaj and people. They arrange for the Brajvasi to enter the Govardhan temple and create fear in the devotees there at Narsimha. And they invited the people there. That is Shanta Maharaj and people.
So you're saying, they're saying, Tilak Maharaj is saying that they came to the temple because Shanta Maharaj called them to come to the temple?
Yes.
Okay, but now they're saying they won't disturb, but we do not know. Two different things happened. One, they came to the temple, and two, they said they will not disturb.
So possibly after that meeting, Nidhi Maharaj, Nidhi Maharaj, अभी वहाँ पर शांत है वो, वहाँ पर अभी शांति है, नरसिंह पाली में
शांति है, अभी शांति है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। तो वो लोग मैंने इधर ही भीतर कुछ कर रहे हैं, ऐसा अनुभव लग रहा है कि मैंने इंटरनेट से कोई मैंने अपना तो प्रचार कर रहे हैं, कुछ ऐसा है, किंतु बाहर में प्रकाशित भाव से कोई कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं यहाँ।
Maharaj, he says that undercover they are trying to do something, and outwardly there is nothing, that is always on the phone, phoning others like this. That they are trying to do something.
All right. So we had previously had a meeting with Nariha Maharaj and some of the devotees in Vrindavan and other places, and we said that we wanted to have the devotees in India, all the different temples, have a meeting, and Nariha Maharaj would be present, so we could talk about, so the devotees could talk about how they could have all the devotees from all the temples, along with Nariha Maharaj, deciding how they could manage the mission in India. We had that meeting, but we could not do that meeting because India is still in COVID lockdown. So that was the situation. But we're hoping in the future that meeting can take place so that Nariha Maharaj can meet with all the temple presidents.
Nidhi Maharaj, ये महाराज कह रहे हैं कि वो चाहते थे कि एक मीटिंग हो, सभी मंदिर के प्रेसिडेंट थे और उसमें आप भी शामिल होगा, और वो कह रहे कि कैसे वो प्रचार करेंगे कि सभी कोई आपको सहायता करे, लेकिन अभी तक वहाँ पर लॉकडाउन है।
हाँ, लॉकडाउन मैंने 15 दिन का हो रहा है, फिर 15 दिन होने के बाद फिर 15 दिन बढ़ जा रहा है, लॉकडाउन अभी भी नहीं है।
वो कब तक?
लॉकडाउन अभी
जून के अंत तक,
जून के लास्ट, जून लास्ट, फिर पता नहीं फिर से बढ़ सकता है, ऐसे बार बार 15 दिन तक लॉकडाउन किया, फिर जब अच्छा परिस्थिति अच्छा नहीं देखा तो फिर लॉकडाउन 15 दिन कर देते, ऐसा 3-4 बार हुआ।
Maharaj, he says that lockdown has been extended up to 30th June.
30th of June, all right.
Yeah. He says it may be extended again, but depends on the situation.
Okay, yesterday devotees were saying they wanted to meet with Nariya Maharaj and talk with him, so maybe some devotees might want to talk with him or ask him some question. They are present here. Because some devotees, they don't know Nariya Maharaj and they would like to be able to know him. Maybe he could, in India, we understand that Nariya Maharaj, he worked with Acharya Maharaj for many years, working together. So, I think some of the devotees, they don't know, who don't know Nariya Maharaj, maybe he can talk to them. He can talk a little bit about how he's been working with Acharya Maharaj and what are some of the ideas he has for the mission in India. He can maybe tell some things.
Dandavats Maharaj, Maharaj, if you need support to maintain the temple, all of us are here, but we need to know the account details of the bank, because and if you are maintaining the temple, and how we could help you to maintain the temple. So we need the account number and appropriate, the money details to you. Those kind of details we need.
Prabhu, I already opened, but that account number also not gave me. I think tomorrow I will go again to bank. They will give me the account number. So tomorrow I will can possible to send account number. I think.
Okay. Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, very good.
Si alguien aquí habla español y no puede hablar tanto en inglés y quiere platicar o preguntar algo a Nariya Maharaj, ustedes pueden también hablar en español y hay muchas personas aquí que pueden traducir lo que quieren preguntar. Estoy diciendo eso también porque ayer nos dijeron varias personas que querían conocer a Nariya Maharaj or hablar con él. I just sang Nariya Maharaj, I told in Spanish. Yesterday some devotees were saying they would like to meet with you and talk with you, so I said, if they don't speak English, they can speak Spanish and we can translate for them also.
Maharaj, quisiera hacer una pregunta. ¿Puedo? Dandavats Pranam, Sripad Nariya Maharaj, quisiera preguntar, le enviamos saludos desde España, Ariananda Das y toda mi familia. Reverencia a sus pies.
He's sending his Dandavats from Spain.
Mi pregunta es la siguiente. He escuchado por los devotos que usted estuvo mucho tiempo con Srila Acharya y lo conoció bastante. Entonces, quisiera preguntar dos preguntas en una. Primero, de todas las experiencias que usted tuvo con Srila Acharya, ¿puede contarnos alguna anécdota que más haya impactado su corazón y en la cual usted haya aprendido algo muy valioso de él a través de algún ejemplo, no solo de la palabra, sino de algo una anécdota que usted haya tenido con Srila Acharya y le haya impactado mucho su corazón? Y segundo, si se le preguntara, ¿cuál es la enseñanza más hermosa de tantas que seguro usted escuchó de Srila Acharya, pero que también más le impactó su corazón, ¿cuál sería? Es decir, ¿cuál sería su experiencia directa, una anécdota directa con Srilacharyadej que a usted le haya impactado y cuál ha sido para usted la enseñanza más importante que usted ha recibido de Srilacharyadej?
This is a broad question. Haryananda is asking, he said, you spent much time with Acharya Maharaj. Can you tell us some special comments about what incidents or what things with Acharya Maharaj or stand out very especially in your experience with Acharya Maharaj? That this is a question he wanted to know something of your what you was very important that you heard from Acharya Maharaj, some special incident or some instruction for you. He's asking this question. You can translate it. I hope so.
महाराज, निरीह महाराज, वो भक्त जो स्पेन से है वो पूछ रहे हैं कि अगर वो आचार्य महाराज ने कुछ खास आपको कहा, वो कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन जो दिया, आप वो शेयर कर सकते हैं अभी?
Yes, he says you spent much time with Acharya Maharaj, and he wants to know some very clear or special instructions that you heard from Acharya Maharaj.
बहुत समय आपने आचार्य महाराज से संग में रहा और कुछ खास इंफॉर्मेशन या सूचना जो दिया है वो आप नारित कर सकते हैं।
जैसे कि दूसरे आपको जो आप सर्विस देते थे वही हम सर्विस बोलते थे, उनको हम करने का प्रयास करते थे। जैसे गुरुदेव के साथ ज्यादा बहुत कम ही रहने का मौका मिला है। गुरुदेव जो सर्विस देते थे, सेवा देते थे, वो हम करने का प्रयास करते थे। वही गुरुदेव को बहुत
कुछ खास मतलब शिक्षा जो दिया महाराज ने,
जैसे कि वो बुक हमको ज्यादातर बुक पढ़ने के लिए बोलते थे, भक्तों को प्रचार के लिए और यहाँ पर समस्त भक्तों को भी जैसे हम जैसा करेंगे वैसा देख के बाकी भक्त लोग भी सीखेंगे, इसलिए बोलते कि आपको मैंने सब जो पाठ सब है, जैसे कि मंगल आरती में आना, इवनिंग आरती में आना, आपका पाठ कीर्तन बैठना, ये सब और उन लोग को करने के लिए आग्रह करना, बोलना, ये सब मैंने ज़्यादातर बोलते थे। और ऐसे तो जैसे वो नंबर 3 हम लोग विष्णु महाराज और प्रभु और हम तीनों एक साथ अपने हरि कथा का आलोचना करने का बात करते थे। और दूसरा निर्देश कि जो करते थे वो सुनते थे, और दूसरा हम गुरुदेव का और ज़्यादा कुछ सुनने का मौका नहीं मिला। वो जो सेवा बोलते थे वो सेवा हम करने का प्रयास करते थे।
आपको कोई खास शिक्षा नहीं दिया?
खास शिक्षा और दूसरा जैसे हमको उनसे शिक्षा Kerala करने का मौका नहीं मिला।
अच्छा ठीक। Yes, Maharaj. Yes, he said that whatever services he was given, well, he tried his best to carry out, and then he was regularly told to read books and do preaching work and engage in seva. And that is what Maharaj, that is Acharya Maharaj said, what he does, they must learn from him. They must take lesson from him and follow that. And he usually told them to attend Mangal Aarti and Sandhya Aarti. And that is, he told him especially to encourage Vishnu Maharaj, and all of them should work together. That's in brief what I wanted. And he said that he did not have so much time, you see, to spend with Acharya Maharaj because he was always given some seva, and Maharaj was moving all the time, but he was engaged in seva after looking for the construction of the buildings.
Ariananda, Miriam Maharaj está comentando que él fue dado instrucciones principalmente por Acharya Maharaj de hacer seva, de leer los libros, de atender a los programas de Mangalarti y también de Sandhyarti en la tarde, y que en esa manera estaba instruido por Acharya Maharaj, pero principalmente él no estaba dando tiempo, todo el tiempo con Acharya Maharaj, sino que estaba dado varios servicios que tenía que cumplir, y eso fue principalmente. Pero una cosa que diría, Harinanda, a veces las personas preguntan que conociendo que uno tiene una relación de largo tiempo con alguien, ellos preguntan que por favor puede decirnos algo de lo que ocurrió en esa relación, pero desde que esa relación es de años, pues es muy difícil simplemente en el momento agarrar algo y decir. Aparte de eso, bueno, tenemos que traducir de español a inglés, a hindi, volviendo así. Entonces, así es.
Anyway, I explained to him, so, something.
Muy agradecido por la respuesta. Muchas gracias.
So ya sabes atender a Mangalarti, Sandhyarti, leer los libros y ocuparse en servicio. Pues ya estás haciendo, pero eso es principalmente la vida de todos nosotros, ¿no? De atender los programas, leer las instrucciones de las escrituras y también de estar siempre ocupado en servicio. All right. Ashram Maharaj. Yes. Okay, I mean, I would like to say we are all happy to be able to know Nari Maharaj and to be able to help the mission there in Nisringapalli and Navadvip and all of India, which Acharya Maharaj established. We want to be a service for the central mission, because we're a worldwide mission, and many places. Right now, the devotees cannot go to India because it is lockdown, but always our desire is to be able to go help by being present in India during the Gaur Purnima festival, and to be able to help the mission. We want to be able to have always that contact with the central mont. Estoy diciendo que siempre queremos mantener la conexión con el mont central, con Nirina Maharaj, que esa es
Ahorita no podemos ir a la India porque no están dejando entrar a las personas que no son residentes de India, pero siempre es nuestro deseo de atender a los programas de Gorpornima y de ayudar con la misión ahí en India. Ustedes ya saben eso. No. Just telling Nariha Marshall, as we did in the past, we will also do in the future. We will continue with the help for the mission in India, and we hope all the temple presidents and all the devotees from outside they can help Nariha Maharaj.
Right, Calvin Maharaj?
Yes, बोलिए.
निधि महाराज
हाँ बोलिए.
वो महाराज कह रहे हैं कि जैसे वो आगे में हेल्प कर रहे थे, मदद कर रहे थे, तो हर बार वो लोग आगे में भी मदद करेंगे आगे समय में. वो लोग गौर पूर्णिमा के समय में आते थे, लेकिन अभी लॉकडाउन की वजह से नहीं आ सकते, लेकिन फिर भी सभी टेम्पल वो भारत का टेम्पल का मदद करेंगे. ठीक.
One thing.
विशेष करके जनार्दन महाराज और आचरण महाराज से प्रार्थना करते हैं, जैसे कि हम जैसे स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज में भी मैंने बहुत वीक अपने को वीक अनुभव करते हैं. तो अच्छा है, क्योंकि यहाँ से भक्तों को स्पिरिचुअल गाइड का भी जरूरत है. इसीलिए तो वो लोग ज्यादातर महाराज की ओर आगे करने का प्रयास कर रहे थे. उनको भी
हाँ, अगर वो लोग इंग्लिश में बातचीत करेंगे तो आप समझेंगे. जब महाराज इंग्लिश में बातचीत करेगा तो आप समझेंगे या ट्रांसलेशन करना पड़ेगा.
जूम मीटिंग कर सकते हैं.
हाँ,
जूम मीटिंग के टाइम संडे प्रोग्राम में जैसे कुछ उपदेश करे, उनसे नॉलेज आ सकता है.
अच्छा, ठीक मैं लग सकता हूँ. Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Niriha Maharaj wants to want some spiritual encouragement, some spiritual knowledge from you and from Ashram Maharaj. He wants to hear from you often. He wants some encouragement.
Yes. Previously, we were doing Sunday meetings, as he knows, every week we were doing with Acharya Maharaj. And we are continuing these Sunday meetings in memory of Acharya Maharaj. So, our mission is always about service. And we especially want to be able to serve the Vaishnavas. So, one way of service that we have is that throughout the world, we are maintaining the temples and encouraging all the devotees and trying to spread Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission all over the world. But at the same time, we also have a relationship with the central Math. That is, we are always trying to serve to the mission of Srila Acharya Maharaj. We are trying to do that service. So we have our own mission, our own responsibility to do in the West, and spreading Sankirtan, spreading the teachings, preaching to the devotees. But at the same time, always Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Acharya Maharaj, they're always encouraging everyone to have a relationship with the central Math, to be able to serve. So here in California, we're calling this the Seva Ashram, the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram. So our interest is always to have that Seva connection. One thing is to follow and spread Sankirtan, but also to be able to serve. And we want to be able to serve. And this Sunday, we're having these Sunday meetings, especially to be able to continue what Srila Acharya Maharaj already started. Every Sunday, he was having a meeting here. And that's what we are trying to do. And anything we can do in that way, we want to have our own responsibility and also to have Seva connection with the central mosque.
Oh Maharaj, Nidhi Maharaj,
हाँ बोलिए।
तो महाराज कह रहे हैं कि वो जैसे आचार्य महाराज हर रविवार को मीटिंग रखते थे, तो ये मीटिंग उसी संबंध से ये कंटिन्यू होगा। ये मतलब कि सभी को तो सेवा है, हर देश में, हर प्रदेश में सबको सेवा है, लेकिन इस मीटिंग से सभी को मिल रहा है और सभी को इसे प्रचार करना है। और मतलब कि सभी को है ये संकीर्तन प्रचार करने को मीटिंग के जरिए। और मतलब कि उन लोग कहते हैं ब्रिज वेस्ट में ना, लेकिन वो लोग गोविंद महाराज के अनुसार जो कहा है कि सब मात मूल मात को सहायता करें, तो इसी संदर्भ में वो लोग मतलब कि हर रविवार को आप आइए और उन लोग से सुनिए, बहुत कुछ ऐसे मिले। और वो लोग चाहते हैं कि सभी मात संदर्भ मूल मात को प्रकट करें।
And although my Gurudev may be not physically present anymore, I am always considering that my Guru is present, because his present Vani and Vapu. Vapu means the personal association with Gurudev, but also Vani, his instructions. And I'm never really feeling that my Gurudev is not present. I'm feeling, now, I will try to follow his instructions. That is important. And in order to be able to maintain that, we are maintaining some connection with the Audi devotees by, we gave this example that if one stick by itself you could break very easily, but when you put many sticks together, you cannot break them. So we're trying to maintain our service to Gurudev by our connection with the other devotees. If we are by ourselves, by ourselves means our own self-interest. We don't want to go on the basis of self-interest, but we want to have the association of the devotees and put our own local interest aside. I don't know if Nariha Maharaj is still present.
Yes, he is still present. Maharaj, Nidhi Maharaj.
Prabhu. He got disconnected just now. I think he had internet issues. Oh, you see?
His internet, the connection is not disconnected. That is why sometimes comes and goes. But he's there in the meeting.
Porque está lloviendo ahí en Singapore y la conexión no está muy bien.
Nidhi Maharaj, आप यहाँ पर हैं?
I think it.
Nidhi Maharaj?
He said it
No,
was
because it was disconnected.
He said it was raining there and the connection was not good.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, amongst ourselves, we can talk. Is there anything any of the devotees want to ask? Because we're trying to serve in the separation from Srila Acharya Maharaj, who wants to continue with his instructions and service, just as we serve to Srila Govinda Maharaj through his instructions and his service. So we are considering that this relationship will continue for eternity. It is an eternal relationship. So all of you within your own service, you have something you want to discuss, something you want to talk about. This is especially important to all of us because we are a worldwide mission. And any problems, anything going on in any place in the world, we want to be able to have that association. We're having that association through these meetings. So it is important to us, all of you, with
Dandava Maharaj. Maharaj, I have one question to see if you can speak with our worldwide accountant, Hasapriya. So when Elia Maharaj's bank account is open, we can get the PayPal connection again to transfer.
Okay. Is it working now?
I don't know because when Acharya Maharaj left, all that is closed down maybe. I don't know how is that working.
Well, then from our end, then it's not a problem because in the past we had PayPal connection. And whenever any funds come into the PayPal connection, they can be sent to the central month when there is a possibility of doing that. Because we're always taking whatever comes there, and when it is when requested by Acharya Maharaj, or when we have something to transfer, we're always regularly transferring. So right now, as far as I know, Niriha Maharaj was saying that they're working to get the accounts open so that we can have the transfers to the account. So there's no difficulty on our end. The PayPal account is there and it is open. So whatever funds are collected there, when they open up the account in India, they can be sent there. We always wait until at least some quantity comes there because they're charging us $40, $50 for making transfer to India. So we're waiting until we get some amount, then we're transferring. And usually Acharya Maharaj was asking us at different times, I need this for doing this construction or doing this service. Can you send this money? And we were sending what we had and what also we got from PayPal. So we were doing like that. And I think there's no problem on our end. We're just waiting for the accounts in India to open up. But if anyone wants to contribute to the PayPal account, they can do that, and it will stay there until the accounts in India are open. Well, we don't have so much control over that. That has to be done in India. But Nariha Maharaj said he was working on that.
Janardhan Maharaj, another thing for the question of Ananta Govinda Prabhu and many other devotees which around the world, they will be wondering when will be that moment to send some donations. I think that, of course, Niriha Maharaj, also Sadhu Maharaj, Kamalendu Prabhu, Devi, they should maintain us informed. Because, for instance, here from our side, we are sending sometimes money to, not through transfer, bank transfer, but mostly from Western Union for their expenses, because I don't know how long it will take them to open the accounts. But in the meantime, naturally, the expenses are not stopping. The expenses they have to meet every week. Naturally, they need to have some covering money, some cash. And whether for the Kolkata Sevak Bhavan group of devotees which are there, whether for some other expenses, but I think they should keep us informed in regular basis, what are their needs, so that we can send some money, whether by transfer of the bank or, as we are doing here in Mexico, by simple Western Union name to them. Then they will have funds and they will have some cash to this emergency, when they cannot have hold of the bank accounts, they still can have some cash.
That's very good. We were in the past doing through bank transfer because we want to maintain legality with the of the Indian mission. We wanted to have that they could see the funds. Otherwise, if we do not do that, the government of India can cause some questions or disturbance, because when they see the money is coming in legally to the country, but that is for construction. That was for when Acharya Maharaj asked us to send funds there, like not just for maintenance, but for the construction, and it was bigger amounts, and we wanted to do it legally through the bank transfer, so that there's no question that we are doing something wrong. But what you're saying about maintaining the expenses of the devotees, or BOGA, or their own expenses, then yes, it's good to do that through some service that is open. Right now the transfer through bank is not open because the accounts were all made in, I believe, in the name of Acharya Maharaj, and they have to have them, set up for Nariha Maharaj and for the devotees there in India, that they can get.
Sadhu Maharaj is there, or Kamalendu Prabhu.
Sadhu Maharaj, ¿cuánto tiempo más estás ahí?
Maharaj, aún no sé todavía cuánto tiempo, pero puede ser poco, puede ser un poco largo. Pero estoy un poquito lejos ahorita de Nariha Maharaj, pero lo último que sabemos es que sí, él está trabajando en lo de la cuenta, pero como dicen, mientras tanto el servicio de PayPal sigue funcionando y aquellos que puedan enviar por Western Union también pueden ponerse en contacto con nosotros y se puede hacer para gastos directos, más inmediatos.
Ok, bien. Bueno, que toda la comunidad sepa.
Sadhu Maharaj is saying that for sending funds and everything can send through Western Union. He doesn't know how much longer he's going to be in India because he's going to be traveling to renew his passport and documents. But Sudevi es Lakshmikanti. ¿Está Sudevi aquí? Sudevi está aquí presente. Sadhu Maharaj, ¿ella está presente hoy?
No, Maharaj, ni Sudevi ni Kamalendu.
Maharaj, yo pienso que para gastos pequeños así como caja chica, cuando yo estuve en Singapur y Acharya Dev me dijo que haga eso. Entonces le dije, Maharaj, me dijo, no, hágalo por Western Union. Entonces, varios devotos para comprar la planta eléctrica en Ishilapali me mandaron una donación de Colombia y de varios lugares para algunos gastos. Y yo siempre lo estuve recibiendo. Y es más, hay un señor que tiene una agencia de Western Union y él vive cruzando la calle ahí en Ishilapali. Cuando me hice amigo de él, él me dijo, no necesitas venir aquí, mándame por el WhatsApp, mándame la foto del número de la transferencia, y él me traía, el otro día en la mañana me traía todo el dinero. Entonces hicimos amistad con el señor y yo creo que se puede hacer así para gastos así, caja chica, gastos pequeños, de mantenimiento, pago de servicios, boga y todo ese tipo de cosas. Ese fue el Acharya del mismo me pidió que haga eso.
¿Y quién sabe los datos que debe tener para mandar dinero por Western Union?
Hay que mandar a alguna persona. De todas maneras, yo tengo el teléfono de este señor, Bapu se llama. Se le puede dar a Acharya Dev, de pronto pues, digamos a Nariha Maharaj. De pronto pues, él ni siquiera necesita ir ahí a Krishnanagar. Pues le manda el recibo, el número de la confirmación, y el hombre, él me traía el dinero al templo. Y Acharya Dev me dijo, bueno, cualquier dinero que entre, pues yo se lo daba a Nariha Maharaj.
All right, so for the daily expenses like that, they have through Western Union, and they can be sent to some person by Western Union, and the funds can be given to the person. And we were also, when Acharya Maharaj was asking, that I need to purchase this property, or I need to get this, and we wanted to do those big amounts or bigger amounts through bank transfer, because we needed to do that legally from our end, and they needed to do that legally from their end. That is for something like, building a prasadam hall or purchasing property. That's something that requires, like what is coming into the PayPal account. That is not just for general purposes, but we're also sending those amounts regularly. Anyway, you can understand what I'm saying. If we're giving to so they can buy the pulpit to take care of the devotees, that can be sent by Western Union and given immediately. And Puri Mars is saying there's one person in Krishnanagar who would give the funds directly to the devotees.
Maharaj, my Dandavat pranams to all the devotees, my Dandavat pranams to you. I had one experience talking to Kamalendu Prabhu and Harindu Prabhu from Colombia, and I sent through his bank account we collected some donation for his small expenses like taxes or food or whatever. It's not so much, but when in times of need, then through Kamalendu's bank account in Colombia, he can withdraw some cash for the maintenance, because we cannot expect everything to be opened when in the emergency times. So I did that through Kamalendu Prabhu bank account in Colombia.
Okay. Ashram Maharaj also knows about that. And Puri Maharaj.
They are always sending money through the Western Union, as it was requested by Srila Acharya Maharaj.
No sound. Puri Maharaj. No sound. Puri Maharaj.
También estuvo en Singapali Amrit Krishna Prabhu, quien es colombiano, y él también tenía una cuenta de bancos en Bogotá. Y algunas veces, pues algunos devotos enviaron algo de dinero por ahí también, por Kamalendu también. Cuando yo estaba saliendo ya de India, pues alguna emergencia hubo, me lo dijo Srila Acharya. Hablé con Aribandu Prabhu, Aribandu con otros devotos depositaron algo de dinero en la cuenta de Kamalendu. Kamalendu en la mañana fue con su tarjeta de cajero automático, fue, retiró y se lo entregó el dinero a Acharya. Entonces podría ser a través de Kamalendu también, como está diciendo Trivikram Maharaj.
Pero ¿dónde está Kamalendu ahorita?
Ellos están en Sevakbavan, en Calcuta.
Sí, y Nariha Maharaj está en Singapur.
Claro.
Tiene que ver una manera de llegar a los fondos que necesiten en Singapur y que
Yo podría llamar a este amigo Krishnanagar, Bapu se llama, o darle a la tarjeta de teléfono y hable con él. Entonces, con él se va a hacer sencilla la cosa. Nirija Maharaj puede dar un nombre. Nirija Maharaj ni necesita ir ahí. Entonces, simplemente él da un nombre, él le pasa por el WhatsApp, le pasa el número de la confirmación, el hombre recibe eso, hace la transacción y al otro día en la mañana al templo busca el cash.
Cuando pronuncié a Maharaj, para informarle que se partió la Nirija Maharaj ya se conectó de nuevo.
Y ayer me preguntaron los devotos que querían como que Nirija Maharaj estaba presente, estaría presente, que ustedes podrían como hacerles preguntas, y no precisamente los que van a llevar como, preguntas que ella puede preguntar a través de un traductor, eso significa de Hindi a Bhoksaja Prabhu, a Bhoksaja a inglés a español, entonces tiene que ser algo un poquito preciso, como no estamos escribiendo una novela, estamos tratando de tener una comunicación. Digo. Nirija Maharaj is present again. Ashram Mars. ¿Qué podemos comunicar con Yeri Mars que tú crees que es importante con los devotos para tener esa comunicación? ¿Qué sugerías tú?
Maharaj, tú ya mencionaste, yo creo que es muy bueno que sepa él, ¿verdad?, que todos los devotos estamos contentos de que él, ¿verdad?, cuente con todo el apoyo, todo el respaldo de toda la comunidad internacional del Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. No se sienta solo, que nadie se sienta solo ahí, que estamos, ¿verdad?, para tratar de servir el deseo de Sri Acharya Maharaj, y que él era una persona, ¿verdad? Nos han dicho y hemos visto, ¿verdad?, en las diferentes videos y en los comentarios de nuestros hermanos y hermanas espirituales, hemos visto que pues, así nos lo han mencionado, ¿no? Que Sri Acharya Maharaj tenía mucha confianza en que él siguiese, ¿verdad?, con el liderazgo de la misión, y que no sé, eso ya le comentaste, esto yo creo que es muy bueno para él, para que él sepa, tiene todo el apoyo de la comunidad internacional.
That was what Ashram Mars is saying is that what we said before, that we want Yeri Mars to understand that he has the support of the international community, everything that we can do to help the mission. Now, while he was not present, we were talking about how to also be able to help to the mission there, the transfer of funds needed for maintenance and everything like that. So we were talking about that. So, hope that you can tell. We want to be able to help. We're all united trying to help the mission there. And whatever we know had a long association with Acharya Maharaj, he had association with him. And we want to continue with the help that we can provide.
So, maybe Maharaj?
Yeah, tell me.
वो लोग कह रहे हैं सब लोग आपके साथ है, जैसे उनसे संबंध थे आचार्य महाराज थे, गोविंद महाराज थे, आपके साथ मतलब हर आश्रम आपको मदद करेगा। और वो लोग समझ रहे हैं कि अभी जैसे गुरु है भी या नहीं है, लेकिन वो लोग समझते हैं कि गुरु है और आप इस तरह संबंध रखें और कोशिश करेंगे कि आपको मदद करें। तो अभी आपके पास कोई
मेरे पास अभी बैंक अकाउंट है, हम कभी भी उसमें विदेश से पैसा कोई भेजा होगा उससे उठाए, ऐसा हम नहीं, एक बार भी नहीं किए ना, को समझता हो गया। अभी मेरे पास अकाउंट नंबर है, तो जिसमें कि गुरुदेव हमको भेजे थे, यहाँ पर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन चल रहा था, उससे वो भेजे थे, उससे हम लिखा के हम लेबर्स को करना मैंने समझ
समझ नहीं आता आप क्या कह रहे हैं महाराज। He says that Acharya Maharaj has an account open for him, and that is transfer. Some funds were transferred. That we usually use funds from that account to pay the workers and that meet the expenses, etc. And that account number he has.
Okay, so then he got provided. He can provide that account to some of us, and we will be able to transfer some funds when they are needed. And Uri Morris was saying that the daily expenses, they can be sent by Western Union. The only problem with that is going through devotees who are in Calcutta, and Neri Morris is in Nishikapali. So the question is how the funds that are sent there. Now, Uri Morris was saying he knows of one person in Krishnanagar who can make the funds available. But I think those are all details. They can all be taken care of with Narina Mars. You can tell him about that. So we know that we can always help in that way. That helped us always giving to Acharya Marsh, and we want to continue with that.
Nidhi Maharaj? Nidhi Maharaj?
बोलिए प्रभु।
हाँ, वो आपका अकाउंट अभी चालू है?
हाँ, मेरा अकाउंट ऐसे गुरुदेव 3 अकाउंट खोलने के लिए हमको पहले ही बोले थे, पहले से ही खोला हुआ है, जो कि गुरुदेव मैंने जिसमें पैसा भेजते थे और हम यहाँ पर पेमेंट देते थे, खुलवाए हैं हम 3 अकाउंट है पहले से।
आपके नाम पे है?
I hope so, yeah. Does Neri Hamaris, does he have any WhatsApp address? Does he have, he is also on WhatsApp?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, I have Maharaj.
Okay, so we can, you can tell, maybe you can show that WhatsApp account or WhatsApp so that devotees can communicate with Neri Hamaris individually. If they want to do something, they can, instead of telling about all the account numbers and everything like that, we don't want the opposition to know all these accounts. So we can do those things through messages by telephone or by WhatsApp. I think maybe Acharya Ratna or maybe Sadhamars, they have that information, how we can communicate with Neri Mars. I'm saying we don't want to do everything publicly because we don't want the opposition to know what we're doing.
Yes. This is
Yes, Maharaj.
We were myself, Ashram Mars, we were previously long time with Srila Govinda Mars, and then Srila Govinda Mars left this world. But always our relationship, we're not going to India. I personally am not going to India to go to see the holy places. I'm not on pilgrimage. I'm going there mostly for my service. When I'm going there to serve Gurudev, and what I can do is of my service. If Gurudev is in Calcutta, I stay in Calcutta. If Gurudev is in Navadip, I go to Navadip. And then I'm going to the festivals in order to do service. That is of interest to us. We're not going there just as tourists. Now some devotees are visiting India for the first time and they want to, go to see all the places of Mahaprabhu's pastimes and everything. And that is of importance to them. And that is very nice. The chance, maybe somebody has the chance one time in their lifetime they can do that. So that is important to them. But when we're going there, we're going there for the service of Gurudev. That is our principal reason in going anywhere. If Gurudev is in Russia, we go to Russia. We're not considering what like that. So one that always we're looking to have the service connection, and how I can serve Gurudev is he's always giving instructions, just like Acharya Maharaj giving instructions to Narasimha Maharaj, what he should do to be able to serve him. And that is especially important. The relationship with, how is it that Gurudev knows us? He knows us by the service, by that we are his eternal servitors. Anyway, I think this is understandable. Everybody knows this. But especially if someone wants to know what they can do, everyone can be of some service. There's no one who cannot do some service. You don't have to be rich. You don't have anything you can do to help the mission. That is of importance to us. Todos ustedes ya saben, queremos tener la relación de servicio. No estamos yendo a ningún lugar como turismo. Yo muchas veces he visitado incluso diferentes países. Yo visito ciudades que son muy turísticas y ni veo las ciudades en cuanto a ir a ver este monumento y todo eso. Cuando estábamos en Inglaterra, vimos los lugares de Sankirtan donde están haciendo Harinam. ¿Qué te puedo decir?
Gurudev, tengo una pregunta para el Narasimha Maharaj. ¿Puede hacer?
¿Quién habla?
Habla Damodar de Mérida.
Dinos.
Bueno, la pregunta es para el Narasimha Maharaj, ¿verdad? Sabemos que pues sí, la Acharya Maharaj tenía mucho aprecio por él, ¿verdad? Los devotos ustedes están, ¿verdad?, en favor de él, dando su gracia. Pero ¿cómo se siente él con esta, ahora digo yo, gran responsabilidad? ¿Cómo se siente él con esta gran responsabilidad? ¿Cómo se siente el Narasimha Maharaj con todo esto? ¿Se le puede preguntar a él?
No me parece que es tan relevante.
Sí, ¿cómo se siente o qué quiere que escribe una autobiografía?
No, su sentimiento, su pensamiento, ¿cómo se siente él con esta gran responsabilidad?
Puri Maharaj está comentando que no considera que esa pregunta es tan relevante. En el sentido que bueno, él tiene una relación con su de servicio y él no está haciendo como que es relevante, por ejemplo, la conexión que tú tienes con tu Gurudev, con tu servicio. Sabemos que es relevante porque es tu vida, la vida de uno. Obviamente es relevante. ¿Qué más hay en la vida? Anyway, I'm happy, although this connection was interrupted, but at least all of you could get to see Narasimha Maharaj, hear something from him, know something of his service connection with Acharya Maharaj. Now you know that there is a person who Acharya Maharaj wanted to establish. Now you could know something of that person. In the future, the relationship will become more established we will have connection with Narasimha Maharaj by service, by trying to serve the mission of Acharya Maharaj. So
Danda Pranam Maharaj is encarnado desde Duitama, Colombia. Danda Pranam Silastra Maharaj, Satyananda Maharaj. Maharaj, yo puedo preguntarle a Nirija Maharaj, ¿cómo puede uno desarrollar fe en la deidad? ¿Cómo puede desarrollar uno fe en la deidad?
Yo creo que Nariya Maharaj en este momento no está conectado, porque dijo la conexión está muy difícil. Está lloviendo allí en Shingapali. Por eso el internet está mal. A ver, Nariya Maharaj
está conectado, Nirija Maharaj está conectado, Señor Maharaj.
¿Está conectado?
Yes, Maharaj.
Ashram Maharaj.
Yes, Omkarnath was explaining, the question was, how can we develop faith in the deity? ¿Así es, Omkarnath?
Sí, señor, sí, Maharaj.
Okay. How to develop faith in the deity? Well, how we can develop faith at all? No, I think that we need to associate with the devotees. No? The process comes first of all with some Jnata Sukriti, and Jnata Sukriti, then there are some faith, no? In a general way, Srada Devi, Tato Srada Sadhu Sangha, and then we need the association of devotees, and they will give us, no? Through them, through their association, their service, then we will find this growing of our faith. Entonces, ¿cómo debemos, verdad, desarrollar nuestra fe en la deidad? Entonces, el proceso es que ¿cómo desarrollamos fe de una manera general? Bueno, a través de la asociación de los devotos. Por ejemplo, nosotros en un principio se dice, existe este Jnata Sukriti o Añata Sukriti, estos métodos. Bueno, ¿se escucha bien?
Sí, Maharaj, se escucha muy bien.
Ok. Entonces, el proceso dice Jnata Sukriti, luego Tato Srada, Sadhu Sangha, Vajana Kriya. Una vez que tenemos esta fe debido a este Jnata Sukriti, a esta piedad que se ha adquirido en vidas, entonces uno puede, ¿verdad?, tener la fe. Y la fe inicial nos va a llevar en la asociación de los devotos. Este despertar, ¿verdad?, se va a dar en la asociación con los devotos. Realmente la asociación de los devotos es muy necesaria. Así que cuando lleguemos a la asociación con los devotos vamos a ver, ¿verdad?, vamos a escuchar acerca de las deidades, del Archa Vigraha, ¿no?, de la forma de la deidad del Señor Supremo. Vamos incluso a ver a los devotos glorificar al Señor en el templo, hacer el Arati, ¿no?, glorificarlo a través del Kirtan, del Vayan, del Arati, de la adoración, ¿no?, de este Archan. Entonces, todos estos son procesos que se mencionan en las 9 actividades del servicio devocional. Entonces, mediante la asociación con los devotos, ¿no?, por escuchar, por tratar de servirlos, por asociarnos con ellos, estas cosas se van a ir estableciendo en el corazón.
Ashramar, tú usas la palabra Jnata Sukriti, ¿no?
Es Jnata Sukriti. Jnata Sukriti. Y Añata Sukriti, ¿no?
Jnata y Añata.
Así es. ¿Por qué, Maharaj?
No, porque para
de esta manera, ¿no? Aprendemos de ellos cómo relacionarnos con la forma tan misericordiosa del Señor en la forma de Archa Vigra. Muy misericordioso, a través de la petición del maestro espiritual, del Gurudev, del Vaishnava, el Señor se hace presente en este mundo para que los devotos podamos, ¿verdad?, comenzar a formarnos una idea personal de cómo poder servirlos de todas formas. Sí.
The question of Om Karnat was how one can develop faith in the deity. And one thing is, we know that the Lord is always present in His name, His form, His qualities, and His activities, His pastimes. Nam Rupa Guna Lila. The Lord is present in these ways. And how can I know the Lord when the Lord is I'm in this mundane world, and how I will be able to have a relationship with divinity, which is the divine plane in which the deity is present. I am on a different plane normally of existence. But as Asra Maharaj is saying, that the mercy of the Lord can descend to me. If I become, Guru Maharaj would say, if I develop the negative, then the positive will come to me. So the negative is in the form of the humility, tolerance, and offering respect to others. That is, I'm trying to develop the qualities of humility, tolerance, and others, and that is like the negative. Then the positive can flow to me especially through the mercy, through the association of the devotees, through the service of the devotees. And Gurudev, he was saying, I am not trying to look and know the deity. I'm not trying to experience the deity, but rather I am coming before the deity and offering myself. I'm prostrating myself to the deity, and I'm saying, my dear Lord, you please see me. I am here for your service. I'm not trying to see the deity. I'm not. Of course, we're going in and we're going before the deity and we're having arti and we're singing. But really, what we're also doing is presenting ourselves before the deity and saying, my dear Lord, I'm here for your service. You please see me. Because I cannot examine the Lord. Then it's like the question of Hiranyakashipu. He said, you say God exists, and can you show me God? Well, Gurudev said that, yes, because we're very foolish, we can get the mercy of the Lord through the deity. The deity can accept our sins. But we have to always maintain a consciousness that I cannot examine or question the deity, but that I'm coming to the deity hoping that the deity will accept my service. Like that.
Also, Maharaj, there is that instant, very nice, very beautiful, described by Sridhar Maharaj. That when he, in the very beginning, he came to the Gaudiya Math. You remember that pastime? Yeah. When he came in the beginning to the Gaudiya Math, he was surprised to see the devotees and all the organization and the teachings. But when he asked some of the devotees, tell me from which materials the deity is made of. No? Guru Maharaj, in order to make some question or relationship to the serving the temple, he requested, or he asked, which material is the deity made of? Then that person told him, no, it is not proper to see that. The deity is not made of this material or the other material. It is the Lord himself. No? It is the Lord himself. Then Guru Maharaj, Srila Maharaj asked that person, asked that person, and if the Lord himself is here, then why not the Mahant, no? The pure devotee, your Guru, why is not here by his side? Why he is there in the upper room, in the second floor, in his headquarters or in his room? Why is not here by the side of the Lord? Then that devotee told him that, oh, that is a superior conception. The Lord also is living in the heart of his devotee. And that representation of the Lord in the heart of the devotee, of the Mahant, of the pure devotee, is what? It is a superior conception. No? It's a living conception. We are seeing the Lord manifested in the heart and in the expressions which comes from the heart of the Mahanta or the pure devotee. So very, very nice story. So in that way we start learning about the Vidya. No? As Maharaj said, that also we have heard in the mat that but through them, through the association with them, then we are starting to get some conception about deity, you know, from different aspects of the manifestation of the Lord as an Archa Vigraha.
Always we going into the temple and Arti, and sometimes the devotees are dressing the deity, and the deity is in different outfits and looking very beautiful each time we see them different. But actually, as we're understanding, the deity is accepting my service. I am not the center. I cannot know divinity through my own eyes and through my own tongue. But it's actually everything coming to me by the mercy of the Lord and the Vaishnavas. So in the association of the devotees, we have some opportunity to serve them. We can, it's mentioned that the third class devotee, he only sees that the deity is within the walls of the temple, in the building. But the person who is a servant of the deity, he will see the deity's presence in the heart of everybody. So we're seeing that the deity is actually present in the heart of all the Vaishnavas, especially we can understand. But everyone, we could see the deity present everywhere in the heart. Try to see the deity present in the heart of everyone. Not just think, oh, the deity is in my temple. When I go into the temple, I can see the deity. No, we're supposed to be able to take the mercy and the glories of the deities with us when we're going into the world and trying to do some service for the Lord and the Vaishnavas. It's not a physical presence, not just that the deity is there in the form of like wood or metal. That Ashramar spoke about. We are not thinking of the Lord as made of particular materials. We try to take the Leon Carnati said his question was how to develop faith in the deity. And he wanted to communicate with Enrique Marsh, who wanted to express that to him. So then Ashram Mars is speaking something, and I don't know. Estábamos hablando que estamos buscando presentarnos en frente de la deidad para su servicio, que no estamos tratando simplemente ver a la deidad, pero como Govinda Mars se presentaba ante de la deidad ofreciéndose para su servicio. So you're saying that Nirika Mars present now, right?
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद महाराज. Nirika Maharaj, how is everything in the Shringapati? All the servitors are present. They're still present. The pujaris, the cooks, everything is going on okay in the Shringapali.
internet is too much problem training almost every day 3-4 days. Net connection is no good. So that many times cutting. In the good everybody help me there.
Can't hear him, Maharaj.
Dandavats Maharaj, I have a question. Maharaj, can we safely say that now, I don't see Santa Maharaj attending our Zoom program. Can we say that he is no more threat to us? We could be at peace. He is not disturbing our temple in Ashram Bay or making any kind of arrangements to Gundas or what we heard from here Maharaj just now. So how do we move forward from here? So can we safely say that he's no more with us, he's not going to disturb us, or he's just going to hang out there and cause further irritation to us? So, because he's still there in Ashram Bay, I don't know what he's still planning to do. Because what we see in the social media, that he's attacking, our senior devotees, Vaishnavas, many things that's going on. So I really hope that he's off the hook and he's not going to disturb us. So what do you think, Maharaj, of this?
I have a question also about this, Ravindra. In the past, Santa Maharaj disturbance was there, but maybe now, is he still present in Nishangapali?
I think yes, I think Nira Maharaj is still there.
And is he helping or not helping?
Nidhi Maharaj, Maharaj, I spoke with Nidhi Maharaj the day before, and he said he's just on the phone and practically doing nothing.
Worry March, you have no sound.
Santo Maharaj is in the Nishingapali temple. Also, what about to Vipul? He left the temple?
For Sant Maharaj, I know, but for people, I can't say. Sant Maharaj is still there.
The temple?
Yes.
Adhosaja Prabhu,
Yeah, Nirika Maharaj is back. Yes, Nirika Maharaj again connected.
Ganga Maharaj is helping or still in Nishingapali or what, causing disturbance or not causing?
Yeah, he also not helping Maharaj. He's doing one job. He's not helping.
What the trees doing there in the temple? Eating and sleeping?
Maharaj, I now is no one to disturbing our journey. I want to never stop. I will tell them to go from here because if something, they will have something and they disturbing, then some problem. If no ready the paper, for that I know tell them to.
Nirika Maharaj, what about Vipul? I hear Acharya Dev give him a room in Nishingapali temple. Still Vipul is there?
Homecoming and Gurudeva and
Adhosaja Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj.
You can
I
ask,
can't hear him clearly.
maybe you can ask him if Deepo is still there.
And Nrihan Maharaj? Maharaj? Niriya Maharaj? Niriya Maharaj?
the Sivani Maharaj is no longer connected. So we'll have to wait a little bit.
I get, when Acharya Maharaj was present, he would attend these Zoom meetings, not from the Shingapali, but he would attend them from Calcutta where the connection is better. He didn't try to do the programs from the Shingapali. But Maharaj, Niriya Maharaj is present in the Shingapali because that's where his service is, and he's serving from there. But for Narihan Maharaj to answer questions like, to describe his relationship with Acharya Maharaj, or how to, questions of devotional service, how can we have faith in the deity, everything like that. Acharya Maharaj could answer those questions because he was present in Calcutta where there's a good internet connection. But we cannot expect that Nariha Maharaj with a bad internet connection there in the Shingapali, he cannot answer these questions very well because the connection won't last long enough for that. Estoy diciendo que cuando estaba presente Acharya Maharaj en estas reuniones, podríamos preguntarle por qué él estaba en Kolkata, donde la conexión está muy bien. Él no hacía la transmisión de estos programas de Zoom de Shingapali, porque la conexión ahí no está muy bien.
Hubieron 2 o 3 darshans que Acharya Dev dio de Nishikapali. Cuando yo pregunté a Amrit Krishna Prabhu, él me dijo, sí, en el 4º piso, el piso que recién lo construyeron, ahí había mejor señal. Y Acharya Dev dio como 2 darshans de Nishikapali.
Pero hoy él dice está lloviendo y la conexión está muy mal.
Puede ser también. Cuando yo estuve en Nishikapali, muchas veces yo estaba dando darshan para los devotos de Ecuador y era así. Ahora por lo menos pues tenemos ya planta eléctrica ahí, pero antes se iba la luz. Se iba la luz, se iba en internet y era una tragedia. Pero es así en Nishikapali. Y si está lloviendo, peor.
Now it's the rainy season. Now we're in the month of June. The rainy season begins.
Dandavad Maharaj, Dandavad. I am Sanjeev.
Oh, Sanjeev.
Sanjeev.
Maharajji, Dandavad. Yes, Vipul is there in Narsingapillai. He's still in Narsingapillai.
And you have talked with them? Have you talked with them?
Yes, I asked Niri Maharaj and he told me Vipul is still there with Sant Maharaj.
And they are causing any problem?
No. Just they are doing everyday meeting, talking, just stay there.
Okay. I asked in the past why is Shanta Maharaj in the Shingapali? I asked that question.
I asked to Niri Maharaj.
No, you asked. You can say from. If somebody comes to the temple where I'm living and they're there, I'm asking, I will ask that person if they can't come, what is the reason there?
You asking me?
No, I'm just asking that question.
I am going only for.
Okay, go ahead, Sanjeev. Go ahead.
No, I am going for devotional. Need some association for developing my.
No, we know that. So I'm asking why somebody is there. Like, are they there for service or are they there for the service?
I think this is like Santa Maharaj, about Santa Maharaj.
Well, in the past, when Acharya Maharaj was present, it seemed like the Santa Maharaj was trying to help. He would go somewhere or do something, Acharya Maharaj sent him there, he was trying. He had conferences, he had the scientific conferences, and he was trying to speak. He was not always just doing disturbance. So that's why I'm trying to see if he is still he can be of an outlet to help the mission instead of creating some disturbance.
1 minute, I will ask to Devi Maharaj.
He said he was not helping. That was his job.
Yes, he is not any helping, just to stay there, doing some conference, talking with people, some people like this. But now he is not disturbing.
Now I think he is fishing. He wants
Yes.
Yeah, he is
Yes,
fishing. And he wants
yes,
to help full group.
he's preaching by internet.
I'm Dandawat everyone. I'm honestly curious how does he have a clear internet connection compared with Nerea Maharaj?
Okay.
Yeah, because they are purchasing data on their phone, Sam, and they are able to communicate through that data. And otherwise, maybe they're using the Wi-Fi connection. The Wi-Fi connection is not good. But what I'm trying to say is that in the past, somebody was part of the mission in helping. And they have not maybe openly joined with the opposition. Opposition, they're not showing openly that they're joining with the opposition. Then maybe, is it possible that that person can do something, be of help or do some service, or they are maintaining themselves with not doing any help and causing some disturbance? So what we heard now, things are quiet, there's no disturbance there, at least now. So I'm trying to understand.
Dandawat Sri Nerea Maharaj. I'm very happy to see you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, you think they can leave, Santa Maharaj can leave if he got nothing much to do there, not much of service, and in Narsinapeli, not much of preaching, nobody is there. Do you think they can leave back to the South India? I don't mind sponsoring their trip back to South India. I can do that. Maybe once I can help them there. But if he wants to leave, I can leave. And can anybody talk to him? He needs to leave, we can help. Yeah.
In the past,
Ayer, the top accountant, the good accountant, he want to Guru, he want to give him
Nivya Maharaj, you say that Santa Maharaj wants to give initiation, something like that.
Yeah, I said that he wants to give initiation and he wants to be the Guru.
Oh. So Maharaj, we heard that from Nivya Maharaj that he wants to give initiation. And that's why he's there, probably. Probably he wants everything. He wants to give initiation to the cows or
No, as I said, I think he is fishing. He is collecting from people. He is fishing.
How many devotees are present in Singapali now?
Every and they are we also there in the
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat.
Dandavat Gurudev, yo estoy participando de un grupo donde Shanta Maharaj preside.
Okay.
Y he visto una fotografía de Shanta Maharaj entregando Harinama, sin la fotografía de Chariadev.
Lo está entregando. ¿Cuándo fue esa foto?
Yo tengo la fotografía ahí, sale con Muni Maharaj entregando Harinama a una devota, pero no se ve la foto ni a Acharya Maharaj ni de nadie, solo sale él entregándole Harinama.
¿Pero ese fue del pasado?
No estoy seguro, pero tengo la foto ahí, tengo la foto.
Dandavat Pranam, Srila Janata Maharaj, Srila Asha Maharaj, Srila Tridhara Maharaj y a todos los honorables sannyasis y a todos los Vaishnavas. Es que Lakshmi Rani tiene una pregunta, si puede hacerla Maharaj.
Claro.
¿Cuál sería el deseo de Sri Gurudev en esta circunstancia para tratar de
De nuevo, ¿se puede repetir la pregunta?
Está muy bajita.
¿Cuál sería el deseo de Sri Gurudev en esta circunstancia para tratar de ejecutar el servicio de acuerdo con nuestra capacidad, con la guía de los acharyas y con la guía de los acharyas?
Maharaj, Ashram Maharaj, translate.
¿Cuál sería el
deseo de Sri Gurudev en esta circunstancia, en este momento
in these circumstances? What will be the desire of Gurudev in order to see?
Para tratar de ejecutar de acuerdo con nuestra capacidad.
For serving, for doing some service, devotional service according to our capacity,
Con la guía de los acharyas.
with the guidance of the acharyas. And
Ashram.
yes, es muy general, ¿verdad? Es muy general la pregunta. No sé si quisieran hacer un poquito más específica. Lakshmi.
Sí, pues el deseo pues, de Srila Acharya pues para nosotros en Occidente y bueno, pues sí, aquí en Occidente y de acuerdo a nuestra capacidad, pues tratar de servir y de los acharyas y de Gurudev.
So at the present circumstances, what will be, she's asking, what will be the desire of Srila Acharya Maharaj to try for us to engage in some service, under the guidance of the Acharyas. What will be the desire of Srila Acharya Maharaj?
Bueno, también hacer una pregunta. ¿Cuáles son las circunstancias ahí en Colombia que vimos, por ejemplo, en Paipa y Huitama, que los otros estaban enfermos? Que Ribando estaba enfermo y que está ocurriendo, por ejemplo, en Bogotá. La situación algo parecido es que los devotos pueden servir o pueden juntarse en grupos o tienen que mantenerse en sus casas.
Pues por el momento, por la gracia de Sri Gurudev, pues todos estamos muy bien. Pues también me refería también a esta circunstancia de pronto que haya, por decir, conflictos entre los devotos, ¿cómo es? En estas circunstancias que están hablando de Nirijo Maharaj, de Santa Maharaj. Entonces, pues nosotros, pues yo no tengo tanta capacidad para comprender esa situación y quisiera, pues en mi capacidad aquí en Bogotá, cómo poder ejecutar un servicio y de acuerdo a ustedes, los acharyas, y tratar de complacerlos.
Primero respondiendo también la pregunta de Maharaj, de que Maharaj hemos podido, anoche hablamos con Prabhu Haribando y se encontraba mucho mejor Maharaj, la salud de Prabhu Haribando para responder esa pregunta Maharaj, y también los devotos en Duitama y en Paipa sabemos que se están recuperando. No sé si hay algún devoto presente acá de Encarnado o Prabhu Nimai Pandit que pudiera informar. Y por lo pronto Maharaj aquí en Bogotá, pues nosotros aplazamos los programas hasta ahorita el 1 cancelamos las reuniones en el templo, ya no nos estamos reuniendo por 20 días por el pico de la pandemia. Tenemos pico de pandemia en Bogotá al menos. Durante los últimos días se han presentado el mayor número de muertes por COVID en Colombia, es decir, 597, entonces hay pico de pandemia y por esta razón cerramos acá en Bogotá el templo en este momento, hasta que baje un poco el pico de la pandemia los primeros días de julio. Y pues sin embargo hemos hecho algún programa de prédica al público, o sea, es decir, en espacios abiertos la semana pasada, pero en general todos los devotos bien, Maharaj. La gracia es la Acharya, es la Gurudev y nuestro Guru Varga, Maharaj. Y si hay algún devoto de Paipa o Duitama que pudiera decirnos cómo amaneció Prabhupada Haribando, sería muy bueno, y todos los devotos de aquí.
Okay, y
Namaste, Maharaj, a todos los devotos presentes. Pues tuvimos entre finales de mayo y bueno, más o menos ya los primeros días de junio, todos estuvimos aquí afectados por el COVID-19. Algunos nos dio un poco fuerte, pero ya estamos bien. La mayoría de los devotos están recuperados. Arribando anoche nos dijo que ya le iban a dar de alta en el hospital, ya estaba prácticamente recuperado. No sé si le dé salida hoy o mañana, pero ya todos estamos bien. Ayer hicimos Harinam en Duitama y pues hoy vamos a ir al templo a hacer el programa de domingo.
Lakshmi Priya's question is about the situation, how to maintain, cómo mantener fe considerando las circunstancias presentes que se ocurren ahí en Nishingapali. ¿Eso es algo de tu pregunta?
Maharaj, en parte también. Sí, es correcto.
All right. So, Lakshmi Priya was asking how to maintain, how we are maintaining our faith and seeing the circumstances in the Shingapali. ¿Qué es la naturaleza de la
en Colombia? Es Lakshmi Priya.
Lakshmi Rani, Maharaj.
Rani, perdón. Lakshmi Rani. Está preguntando, ¿no?
Lakshmi Rani.
Repite la pregunta de ella.
Bueno, estaba preguntando, de acuerdo, ¿verdad?, al deseo de Srila Acharya Maharaj, ¿qué sería lo mejor para nosotros ocuparnos, para nosotros hacer de servicio, de acuerdo a nuestras posibilidades, al momento presente, ¿verdad? ¿Qué sería lo mejor hacer bajo la guía de los acharyas? Esa era la pregunta de Lakshmi Rani.
Well, and how to serve under the present circumstances with the guide of the acharyas. And I was saying that I asked about the situation in Colombia because I knew that many of the devotees in Paipa, Duitama, they were ill. They had the virus. Some of them more seriously, but now they are getting better. Just as we saw Puri Maharaj in Ecuador, he also was ill from the virus. So obviously everywhere in the world, every country, they are affected by the present health situation. We all know that. So much of our preaching that we've tried to do is by being able to broadcast and reach the devotees through this media, through connection. So now, in some places like in Nishingapali, obviously they don't have that connection. That's not able to. So they're continuing with their service there according to their own capacity. We're all operating under very different circumstances. now in the world, we see that. And we're really hoping for the health and well-being of all the devotees. That is our prayer. And we are trying to maintain contact with the devotees who the preaching with. Yesterday, some question came from Medellin because they want to observe the anniversary for the deity. So, so sometimes in the temple they may have some programs in the temple where the devotees wear masks. They come to the temple. They have the kirtan. They have the program on a smaller scale, not. It's very difficult to have on a big scale when we're dealing with conditions which we don't want anyone to become harmed by being in close contact. So we have to see that. But you're all living daily with these circumstances going on for more than a year now. We have, like Ashram Mars, he is preaching online in Spanish. And we did the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We read the whole many times, but this time finished the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and now we're reading the Chaitanya Bhagavat online. And the devotees can hear that all the programs that we're doing in the temple, we are transmitting. We're transmitting by Facebook, by Zoom, and everything like that. In some places we can serve, but right now we heard that the conditions in the Shingapali are a little difficult because we don't know what is the intentions of everyone who's living there. What is the intention of Shantamars? What is the intention of people? And for me it is a little difficult to understand everything because in the past when Acharya Maharaj was present, then Shanta Maharaj was not acting so much driven by he was not acting as an enemy. Now, he is trying to establish his own program, but I'm trying to understand a little bit what that program is. I still don't know. What is his intention? Does he want to be part of this mission? Because Acharya Maharaj said, if someone wants to be guru, they can be guru, but not within the mission. If they want to be guru, go outside the mission. Now, if he wants to be guru, then our consideration would be, okay, you be guru outside the mission. What does that mean? It means that Rajendra Krishna will help you get outside of the Shingapali if you want to leave. He'll send you wherever you want. That's what he basically said. I'll pay your ticket to leave if you're going to cause disturbance. Is that what you're saying, Rajendra?
Ravindra, yes, that's what I'm saying. We can help, I can help do that.
Well, we're not going to give him any money, but right away, or anything like that. We want to see that if you want to be guru, you can be a guru. Then you can be guru outside the mission, not inside the mission. So you're in the Shingapali, that's inside the mission. And if you want to be guru, you should not be there. And if you're there and you're trying to give initiation or you're trying to be guru, then we will consider that you are part of the opposition. So you want to be considered part of the opposition, or you want to be considered still within this mission of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati? That's what we want to know.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. You sing Tamil?
No, go ahead.
Maharaj, the last time when we spoke to him last week, when I asked him a question that does he want to become a guru or a acharya, he did answer us by saying that he has not decided, he is still considering, which means there is a possibility that he may decide to become one. I think he's deciding to become one because that's why he's still hanging out there. If not, he would have left. I'm just suggesting, is it possible for us to put up a notice stating that the international community will not accept him together with the Honorable Acharya Board, that we will not accept his proposal or his interest or ambitions of becoming a guru. So if we could state that with all of us, with your blessings, Acharya Board, we can put that information to the world to see that even if he decides to become one, then nobody will support him, and then work on it. Yeah, we can boycott or don't have to attend any of the meetings or programs. We can put up there on trending in Facebook. They also say we got no objection of him becoming a guru outside our mission, and he can become a guru anywhere he wants, in Sri Lanka or in North Korea or anywhere. They are fine with that, but not within the mission. So you think we could, I don't know, we could put up a notice on that with international community, Yatana Saraswat March and Acharya March for blessings, we can do that. Then we have actually blocked it from the possibility of he deciding to become one. Alright, yeah. And,
I'm not convinced that will change anything. If we put up a notice. My question, for instance, one devotee says it shows him giving initiation to one devotee. But that may be in the past when he was serving as a Ritvik guru. I don't know what date that is. But how to deal with him present, that is the question. So some communication needs to happen between us and him to find out what is his intentions. Does he want to continue within his mission, or is he going to give initiation? And if he's going to give initiation, so if you say, oh, then he shouldn't be part of this mission, then what you will do if he's staying in the Shringapali? Always we have the situation which Srila Govinda Maharaj talked about, that I'm not worried about the Western countries, I'm worried about India. So how to deal with the situation there? That is a question that we already discussed. Now my idea would be to try to do something positive, to not count on him or his presence, but if he's there, to try to do something positive to unite the mission with what we have, with Nariha Maharaj and with the devotees. That is the question, how the devotees can support Nariha Maharaj and what is going on there. We want to know that. ¿Tú crees, Asha Maharaj, que hay algún propósito de eso, de hacer una declaración a través de Acharya Board, que él no es representante de la misión, etc.?
Mi opinión personal, por supuesto, es una opinión personal, es primero se tiene que hablar con él directamente, pues cuál es el problema, y así sabemos bien qué son sus intenciones. Y no sé qué ha resultado, qué ha pasado. Hablando con él también podemos saber qué va a pasar con esa reunión, o con Nariha Maharaj. ¿Qué va a pasar con esa reunión de los devotos que queríamos que se llevase a cabo? No sé, claro, porque ahorita se está en un confinamiento, lockdown. I mean, first of all, I was saying, excuse me, I was thinking we are having the meeting in Spanish. But Maharaj was asking what to do then in regard to Santo Maharaj. And I was explaining my opinion is that we need to talk with him first in order to know really what he what is his desire, what he wants to do. And if he wants to participate in the society, then naturally, as all you have explained, then we are very happy and naturally we will welcome him. Also, there has been, and if not, then okay, to explain him, you need to do that outside. Now also, we established that there was going to be a meeting, but then, I don't know, because of these moments, as Sriman Prabhu, Hridai Krishna Prabhu has explained, that is in Colombia. But as we are hearing in India, there is like a peak of coronavirus, and I don't know if that is going to stop when. When is that going to stop?
30th, right now till 30th of June, but on 30th of June they can extend it also.
Okay. Then we don't know, and it will be good to know, along with the devotees in India, what has happened with that meeting, if that is going to be on standby till it is again possible for them to travel, or what. But in any way, to talk with him personally, then we will come outside from all doubts in regard to what he wants to do. We are asking amongst each other what he wants to do, but maybe Nidhiha Maharaj knows exactly well. But if we talk with him, then that is going to be resolved, and we will know what he wants.
So, in answer to also to Ravindra Krishna, we had one meeting of the Acharya Board, and in that Acharya Board meeting was present Ashram Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj, Avadut Maharaj, as in the past also Madhusudana Maharaj was the secretary. So, we had a meeting, and part of the meeting was all this discussion coming from, discussion of how are we going to take back the Navadip Mad, where we have to put the paper, have the papers legally presented and everything, and give to, and we were not, myself and Ashram Maharaj, and we were not very interested in that. We were more interested in how the mission could continue under the present, with the temples established by Acharya Maharaj, and how we can continue with giving some support to Nariha Maharaj. So I did not find that everyone present, or meaning Avadut Maharaj, they wanted to consider the legal aspect of the mission and where are the papers and all these things to be able to establish that. And therefore to make some proclamation, that I don't want to have to listen to all that, to be honest. So if I have a meeting, we're going to have a meeting and we're going to make some proclamation. First we have to go through that. Ashram Maharaj, está dispuesto de pasar por todo eso de nuevo. Hey! Hey! Stop! Stop! I'm having a meeting. Está muy bien. Es un devoto que viene aquí para... no voy a entrar en eso, ruido. So anyway, feel that we accomplished that much in the Acharya board meeting. Ashramaras, to make some proclamations, we're going to have to go through that again, right?
Oh, well, I don't know about that thing of proclamation. I don't know what proclamation.
Well, Krishna was asking a proclamation to come from the Acharya board that we are not supporting anyone to give initiation like Shanta Maharaj, to just start with initiation, that he doesn't represent the mission. But I don't think we can have a meeting of the Acharya board just for that. We're going to have to listen to a lot of other.
No, I was rather suggesting that we want to know what is the thinking of Santo Maharaj. We need to contact him and talk with him, and we will find out about Santo Maharaj. Because I'm seeing here amongst ourselves, we are asking each other, what is he thinking? And we contact him directly.
Well, we have talked, in the past we have talked to Santa Maharaj maybe 104 times, and he doesn't really express very clearly what his thinking is. So now we're going to talk to him 105 times, and he will tell us directly what he's thinking. He never tells what he's thinking of doing. So my question is this: is it possible that he doesn't tell us directly what he wants to do because he himself doesn't know yet? Or is it possible he's trying to hide what his intentions are? Or is it both? Or maybe his intentions are just do service. I don't know. I cannot tell from speaking with him, only that he is not willing to listen to so much what the devotees outside of India tell. That's all he says. He says, we will not be pressured by the devotees outside of India. We want to establish something within India. So, okay, you want to establish something in India, do it under the guidance of all the devotees in India, of all the heads of the mission, of the different leaders, and do it and have that decision. Well, whether he's just talking or whether he will do, I don't know. So, and now what are we supposed to do, Ashramaras? Are we supposed to call him on the telephone and ask him again what his intentions are? And he's going to tell us? He never told us. He never told us clearly what his intentions are. He will say, my intentions are just to do service. I'm working with the devotees in India. They're expressing what their desires are, and I'm trying to serve the desires of the devotees. And they want my help. They want to have leader. They're supporting Niriha Maharaj, but they also want me to be there because I'm senior devotee and I can provide some assistance. And this is the way it is going. This is the conversation.
But if he wants to go in that way, that is not what we want.
Well, I don't know. He's there in Nishingapali, and he is having his meetings and all that. We heard that from Niriha Maharaj. Then what is to be done about that situation? That is another thing. If he is there, I would try to do something positive and continue whether he's there or not there. We're trying to do something positive. Then the question is how you will continue with something positive even though he may be there. Because my idea is I'm not trying to make him openly an enemy. Whether he wants to do that or not, okay. That's some consideration.
Dandavas Maharaj, Dandavas Maharaj. Maharaj, still, even until today, in YouTube, there's some kind of interview going on with him. And one guy, I don't know who is he, I have not seen him in our mud at all. His name is, I think, Jadu Gopal, you know, some Brazilian guy, talking with him with some interview. And he's telling everything going against what had happened in last week's Zoom. In the Zoom, almost 3 hours, Maharaj, like what Janata Maharaj have said, almost 3 hours we are talking to him. Even Ravindra Krishna, I asked him, please, you can even come back now, please guide Srinivas Maharaj. He's not giving me proper answer. But in the Zoom, I mean in the YouTube, he's interviewing with this guy called Jadu Gopal. He's saying that we have not given him any chance to talk. And he's again and again punishing our senior sannyasi like Janata Maharaj and Master Maharaj's name, and even some of the devotees' name is punishing them. You know, not he, even some of his supporters, they are punishing in the Facebook and putting out all kind of things about Chaitanya Saraswati. You know, the whole lot of devotees. I mean, if they put the name Chaitanya Saraswati with the kind of bad names, it goes to everyone. Singapore, Malaysia, everywhere. Latin, Mexico, everywhere. Because everything is Chaitanya Saraswati. You know, it's just tarnishing the name after and after. Their supporters are tarnishing. And devotees are trying to talk, comment with them, saying that no, this is not the way you should say. And they're still doing the same thing again and again, Maharaj. That's what I want to say, that is how to stop that, you know. That's why I was telling Ravindra Krishna that if we can boycott him totally, we can unfriend him from Facebook, we don't attend anything, and put up a sign to say that in our website, to say Chaitanya Saraswati website, we got totally nothing to do with the Chaitanya Saraswati, you know. Because I don't think so, you listen, because last Zoom, almost 3 hours we are talking to him and he's not giving us a proper answer. You know, he's just
I honestly think, I honestly think Shanta Maharaj should interview you, Shanta Prabhu. Then you will get some answers.
Maharaj, that's all I want to say. So please, we have to work together and try to see what we can do as a big Chaitanya Saraswati together as one method group of devotees. Thanks, Dandavas.
I don't see so much use of this proclamation, because if we make a proclamation that he's not part of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj and he doesn't have permission to get initiation, then somebody will ask, well, why is he living there? So it doesn't really do anything. The question is that he's not representing the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj, but then he's living there, so it doesn't to me accomplish anything. I don't know. I think it is more important with Ashram Maharaj is to try to establish some communication with him. What do you want to do? What is your purpose? Why are you there? What you want to do? Something like that. And then talk with him. I mean, we already know he's not acting properly, but do we want to is it necessary to make him a complete enemy? I don't know. Is that how Acharya Maharaj would want to deal with the situation? I don't, you know, he wants to be a guru, and it's to who? And ask him. Now, I don't know, I couldn't understand what you were saying exactly about what he's doing in YouTube or Facebook. I don't know exactly what's going on here. You could,
Maharaj, Dandavat pranams. Excuse my offense. What the Prabhu in India saying is true. Is preaching against Acharya work. He is telling to all devotees in that meetings, Acharya Maharaj never told we can follow Ashram Maharaj, we can follow your mercy yourself, because it's totally against Acharya work. So in general cases, he already started to make a division, to confuse some devotees. So for something in this time, I'm in his group. I'm in the group of Shantanu Maharaj, and I'm seeing that interviews the devotee mentioned before of Jadu Gopal from Brazil, and always saying the proper mood of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, and saying the Acharya work is not have communication, have the mood of fighting or something like that. Is not the mood. And so he already start with making division of Maharaj. Dandavat.
Dandavat.
Dandavat pranams, Maharaj, Ashram Maharaj and Janardhan Maharaj. I mean, in the view of Jai Shri from Malaysia, in the view of what's happening in India at the moment, since we all actually we do not know what is exactly Super Shanta Maharaj planning to do. Definitely his plan is something, because as I spoke to Nirhad Maharaj, he said everything is very quiet now, but we do not know what we are planning. So really what we need to do is we actually need to send some devotees, some senior devotees who are able to travel to Narasimhapalli at the moment, and perhaps with guidance from both of you and from Trivikram Maharaj, the three of you talk with him exactly. Because, but I feel we may not get a straight answer from him, because even last week when we were asking him, he gave us the answer that he had not decided what he should do. You see, what is happening now with all this talk about Shanta Maharaj and what he is doing is affecting the devotees of Srila Acharya Dev. Our devotional life of the devotees is being disturbed because of all the propaganda that he is doing. I would suggest, I'm not sure, I do not know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but I would suggest that we just have a handful of devotees who deal directly with Shanta Maharaj, and then perhaps every week just come in. Let us know what is the results of your discussion or whatever that you are dealing with him, and rather use the Zoom, actually the Zoom meetings that we are having every week to actually continue our services that Srila Acharya Dev has already started. That means whichever temple is having issues, like I want to know our center, there's so many things that we need to do. You know, who should I ask, who should I consult? You know, these are the things that I'm sure the leaders of the temples all around the world are thinking nowadays. You know, yes, Shanta Maharaj is a great thorn in our side, you know, but hearing about all these things, what he's doing, I mean, for me personally, I feel my heart is very hurt by all these things, you know. Srila Acharya Dev has left us just 1 month, and we are all still, you know, recovering, not even recovering, we're still feeling his departure. You know how painful it is for us, and how painful it is for his disciples. You know, so now we have to actually look after the devotional life of the disciples of Srila Acharya Dev, safeguard the devotional life. Let us do positive. Let's get a group of senior devotees, yourself, both yourselves and Trivikram Maharaj, deal with Shanta Maharaj, and then let us continue with the service. Let the mission go on, you know. Devotees are having issues, you know, that they can come to you all. For the moment, Niriha Maharaj also, we can get advice from him. And then anyone who wants to have direct contact, Niriha Maharaj can give his WhatsApp number, they can talk to him, they can get reassurance, and let us all support, you know, as devotees of Guru Maharaj, of Guru Dev, of Srila Acharya. Let us give full backing to Niriha Maharaj. I mean, Shanta Maharaj is not going to stop whatever he's doing. He's quite determined in his quest to become a guru. But we have to put it across to him. You can become guru wherever you want to be, but not in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. Most of us or none of us will support this. I don't know, Maharaj, this is what I feel, because it's very hurting to hear all these things, you know, what he's doing. I mean, it's impossible to think. Shanta Maharaj has come to Malaysia, he stayed here 5 years, come for Radha Yatra. It was so surprising for me to think that he would do such a thing. But then this is what happened. Look at Ranjit. Look what happened. We are seeing our history, you know, so it's not surprising that this has happened. Now we have to decide how we're going to deal with him. How are we going to deal with him? We don't need the whole devotees dealing with him. The whole devotees just need to say, we are supporting the wishes, that the wishes and desires of Srila Acharya Dev are manifested. That's what we need to say. But we need a group of devotees, senior devotees, yourself, both yourselves, Trivikram Maharaj, to go and deal. And some devotees, some senior devotees in India, to deal with Shanta Maharaj, really. And Niriha Maharaj, of course, included. This is what I feel, Maharaj.
Shanta Maharaj, in the past, he's represented the preaching of the scientific community, and he's organized programs and done that. He says that he follows also Bhakti Madhavpuri Maharaj, who's situated in New Jersey, who we know personally. I will also talk with Puri Maharaj, because Shanta Maharaj recognizes him as his guru. Now,
yes.
So I will talk with try to establish some communication also through that level with Shanta Maharaj. But what I saw as far as, for instance, Acharya Maharaj, when he was dealing with the opposition in Navadip, and I don't necessarily want to label immediately Shanta Maharaj the opposition. I would rather try to see how we can proceed so that we can function as a society. Now, when Acharya Maharaj is present, for instance, he spent time in Kolkata, and then he also traveled to the different preaching centers to travel there and preach. As far as Navadip goes, the opposition was on one side of the street, and we were by the Govinda Kund, and Acharya Maharaj would have programs there with thousands of people in the evening for preaching. So Acharya Maharaj's emphasis was upon preaching to the public, preaching to the devotees. And he didn't concern himself all the time what was going on with the opposition. When the situation was no longer functional within Navadip, then we all know that Acharya Maharaj developed the temple and the project in Nishingapali. So that was how he was dealing with things. It wasn't like dealing all the time with the opposition and trying to define what are the goals of the opposition or anything. So I don't know. I tried to communicate with Shanta Maharaj, and I'll try to talk to him and see if you really want to establish yourself in opposition to everyone, and I will talk also with Bhakti Mata Puri Maharaj about that. But as far as the Acharya board goes, and establishing a proclamation, I will say that up till now, I have not even seen that the Acharya board really functions. And maybe Shanta Maharaj can say the Acharya board never functioned or this or that. Well, maybe there is some truth in that. We have not really, we're not having Acharya board meetings to decide everything. That is, they're always, you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not looking for a proclamation that comes with the Acharya board. I don't see that that's going to happen. We had some meeting and we had some discussion about the situation, and maybe something can come of that when we're trying to talk about establishing, like what Govinda Maharaj had said, the primary trust board, who will decide things. We want to have that consideration. Why might I'm kind of considering, why should life all of a sudden be centered around Shanta Maharaj? It's true that the devotees, he's in the Nishingapali, the devotees can't travel, but I would rather try to do something positive with how to be able to help the mission and help to Nirya Maharaj. One way he said he's getting the accounts to function. But right now we don't have any devotees in Nishingapali in terms of Sadhu Maharaj is leaving India. He has to leave for his papers. And Ramalendu is there, and also Sudevi, they're in Kolkata. And Nariya Maharaj is in Nishingapali. I don't know how much connection they have with what is going on in Nishingapali. And as far as Mahalakshmi's idea that senior devotees can go there, I don't know how much people can travel within India at the present time.
No, Maharaj, I spoke to Nirima Maharaj, I think it was yesterday or day before, and I was also told that Ashok Prabhu and two other senior devotees were leaving Vrindavan to go to be there, and he said today is 20th. He said perhaps tomorrow they will come, I think there is a certain level of travel allowed in India. Certain people that's what I heard, but I don't know. So at least he has some senior devotees there. But he knows how to from speaking to Niriha Maharaj, I believe that Niriha Maharaj is the person, like Gurudev always used to say, you are the person in that spot. You are on the ground, you know how to deal with the situation, and he understands that Shanta Maharaj is, whatever that Shanta Maharaj is doing, he understands that, and as he said, that if he goes and confronts him, then that will create another problem. So now he is on a wait and see mission, I believe, and until and I believe that he has his group of devotees and supporters who are there to give him the support that is necessary. But what we need is, now we need to establish actually what is the intention of Shanta Maharaj, and not to put, as you said, Maharaj, not to put so much of our energy and on what he is doing. Our mission has to go on, Let's do some positive things. I'm just sitting here and listening, and I feel, my goodness. I mean, Srila Acharya Dev, as you said, Acharya Dev, how much problem we have. It's just one person, Shanta Maharaj. How many people, Srila Acharya had problems, so much. I cannot even imagine the problems that he had. 11 years of non-stop problem. But he did so much service, he did so many things. We cannot even imagine what are the services that he did. He did not stop him. And that's what we need to tell our devotees now, our devotees. Let's not stop. Our service must not stop. And by doing our service, continuing our service, the guest house has to be built, because soon, at one time or another, Guru Purnim will open, India will open and Guru Purnim will. Let's look at positive things also. So let's just have a few devotees deal with Shanta Maharaj, Let us, the rest of us, lesser devotees, let us do our service, let us, continue the service for Srila Acharya Dev, and give all our support to Niriha Maharaj to do his service.
Yeah, Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he always told us, don't involve yourself in the Bengali politics, meaning with the devotees there. And he said, rather we're trying to conduct ourselves as a world mission and to be able to help. We were always trying to help Acharya Maharaj, and he would organize the preaching, and devotees would go there to join with Acharya Maharaj, and outside also helping Acharya Maharaj whatever help he requested. So I'm considering that if there's a problem within India, then it should be the devotees in India. They will resolve that problem themselves. There's very little that we can do from outside to be able to involve ourselves with all the internal difficulties going on. And I don't see where this should be such a big problem. Even if they say, well, this person is there and he's not helping. All right. But is that person of such, right now, is that of such proportions that everything should be focused on him? I don't think so. I think rather the focus should be on what help we can provide to the mission there. And hopefully, if the travel restrictions are lifted, then devotees can go there. But right now, who do we have there? We have Sadhu Maharaj leaving, we have Sudevi, and we have Kamalendu. But they're in another place. So I consider that you understand what I'm saying? I just don't see why all our focus should be on, if this person is in Nishingapali and they can't remove him, then let us go on with our work regardless of where he is.
Yes, Maharaj, that's the thing. We're giving him too much attention.
Exactly.
Giving him too much. Of course, we must watch whatever he is doing. We must not be blind to whatever that he's doing. But, what is actually our mission? What is actually Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math? What was our Guru Maharaj's mission? We must not forget that.
Well, for instance, when there was festivals, devotees from Tarakeshwar, they would go to help Acharya Maharaj. Now, if there's some problems, maybe some devotees, for instance, from different temples, or where is the temple in, what is the main community in Jharkhand? What is that?
Madhumangal Prabhu.
Yeah, maybe some devotees can travel to Shingapali to help it. Nirina Maharaj, obviously, it would be nice if just as the Acharya Maharaj had help from, for instance, Sadhu Maharaj, Sudevi had help also from Kamalendu, that if some devotees from within India could also go to Nishingapali, perhaps from, what is the place of Madhu Mangal? Maybe some devotees, they were helping there in establishing the Samadhi of Acharya Maharaj in
Yes.
Ekachakra. Perhaps a few devotees could also go to Nishingapali to assist.
Yes. That will be so positive for our devotees, for the devotees, because everybody is hurting Maharaj now, and with this, not only with the COVID from outside and within, we are having all this problem. So really, we have to see everything is by the will of the Lord. I'm very old school in this, Maharaj, I'm 63 years old. I'm very old school, and being Indian, I always see everything goes by the will of the Lord. But we have to see, and because of Shanta Maharaj, actually, that everyone knows now about Niriha Maharaj, everybody knows about Niriha Maharaj. He's also, he's also coming out of this shell, I believe. It's a good thing. We have to try to see, like Guru Maharaj used to say, we have to see what is the good in it. What is the good in this? We have to see that. If not, devotees, I see everybody's picture and face. Everyone is so downcast, and we don't know where we are. We don't know where we are. Who is our next? Who is going to guide us? The spiritual life is so important, for all of us. We have taken so many births, Maharaj. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm only a mother, but we have taken so many lives, so many births, and our Acharya Dev suffered so much for all of us. Suffered so much for all of us. We cannot let him down. This is my feeling, Maharaj.
So, son,
very, very good words, Sri. It's okay, and these meetings, perhaps, we should focus on the meetings as those who really with the inspirational, with the scriptural advices and the day-to-day services all around the world. And then, I don't know if I understood well, but to make just a group of devotees who will more directly deal with these things. That is good.
And then every week you all can just inform us. I'm sure devotees would want to know. Perhaps every week just let us know what is the status, what is happening. Then we continue with our service, Maharaj. That's it. Because only one letter Guru Maharaj wrote to me, one letter to Prabhu and me, and he said, the real connection is service connection. He said that, one instruction that he gave to us. He said, real connection, do not forget that real connection is through the service. And our connection to Charity will be through the service that we are doing, the service that will continue.
Acharya Maharaj just, as you mentioned, passed away 1 month ago. Little more than 1 month.
Yes.
And
1 month and 10 days.
yeah.
Yes.
So that is our real consideration is, or our real thought is on the service and separation from Sri Guru. Not like so much thinking that this person will do this or this person will do that. We're more trying to continue with our mood of service and separation with Mahaprabhu. So how we can do that and how we can have some how we can serve Acharya Maharaj just as when he was present, how we can continue with our service. And then if this person or that person is saying this and I cannot understand exactly what they are saying, I'm not so much concerned about trying to understand what is the intention of this person. We'll deal with that. But I want to see how we can continue with our mood of service to the mission. And that's really, I'm trying to maintain some focus in that way. And anyway, I don't want to give, what I'm saying is, I don't want to give so much importance to, I don't want to give so much importance to anything except that. Some person is presenting something in opposition, okay, I'll deal with them, but I don't want to give so much importance to that. I want to see how we can continue with the same temples. I would like to know what is the situation with the temples, how the devotees are able to continue with their service. That means the devotees who are living in the temples.
Yes, Maharaj. Perhaps you can get the leaders of the temples, to come back to us and tell us what is the situation there, what are the help that they need, this kind of things. Because I'm sure Srila Acharya Dev, managed everything perfectly, and I'm sure now everybody is lost without him,
Is Madhu Mangal present here today?
Bakura. You were asking for the name of that place, Maharaj?
Yeah, yes.
Bakura.
Bakura.
So can some devotees, I was asking if some devotees from Bakura could go there to help Nariha Maharaj in the Sringapali. That was my question, whether that would be possible. And maybe some devotees who are like Sanjeev, where are you right now? Where are you right now? Are you ever traveling to Kolkata?
So now it's still 30 in Bengal lockdown.
Shanta Maharaj, talk with him and maybe talk with Bhakti Madhav Puri Maharaj, see if something can be done. If I just talk negatively all the time about him, then he'll become more of a, it'll make it more difficult to have some communication. It's not that I'm necessarily knowing or saying that is my dear God brother, and I want to be able to talk with him. All right. Anyone else have any questions? Anyway, regarding that question, have some communication from the Acharya board. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe we can have some meeting about, things like the primary trust board or something like that for the future of having some discussion about the management of India. But I don't think I can get easily have a discussion about making this proclamation, that proclamation. KP answers Mars.
Well, today we had Nirija Maharaj from the devotees asked some questions to him. He spoke a little bit. We had some meeting with him. That's very, very honorable, very valuable. And now we have what time is it now? 12 here. And just besides the meeting, we should talk with some of our God brothers, as Jayasri suggested, God brother, God sisters. Maybe she would be also very valuable there, and we will do some group of devotees who will deal more directly with this, and then that need to give some information to the rest of the devotees. And this meeting on Sunday, as you said in the very beginning of the meeting, we are doing in remembrance of Srila Acharya Maharaj, and we should talk about our devotional community in India and all around the world, with all of you, our being devotees present, with Nirija Maharaj, and focus on those things which are directed to our services and activities which gives inspiration and shelter to everyone.
I done to us to everyone. Please give any offense.
No offense, Maharaj, no offense. Very happy to be here, and no offense.
Dandavas Ashra Maharaj, Dandavas Maharaj, please.
Dandavas Ashra Maharaj, Dandavas Janata Maharaj.
Maharaj,
Shrikant. Thank you very much for your service. It's been more than 3 hours that you have been doing.